Today we've got a reading for you about somebody who apparently doesn't really want to get into a serious relationship, but rather enjoys getting involved with somebody who's already in one. So they're settling because they don't want to actually pursue something long term. This could be like because of their work situation. Maybe they're working somewhere for 2 months and then leaving. Maybe they just don't really want to be that vulnerable, but it's looking to me like they're getting messages to stop being the third party because there is somebody that they are supposed to encounter that helps them to learn an important lesson regarding love. So let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a wonderful day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedonestarot@gmail.com. You can find it in the description box along with more information on how to become a member. Thank you to the current members. Hello, King Angel. Hello, Shayla. How we doing? Well, I'm going to disagree with you, King Angel. First of all, it does exist, but also one would hope that at least you have it for yourself. But giving up on that is letting the people who have hurt you in the past have more power over your life than they deserve. This is the Marigold Tarot. What else do we have? You know, like maybe it's a little, maybe it's like a little petty just to be like, no, I refuse to be heartsick. I refuse to give up on love just because you don't know how to do it, you know? Just because you didn't know how to love. Yeah. Save some space for believing in the good stuff. So we have the Hanged Man in the reverse, Death in the reverse, and the Five of Wands. Someone who's refusing to see that what they basically signed themselves up for is competition and, I don't know, like wondering what could have been. I think this is someone who likes to win. They like being, you know, the other choice. Seven of Rings or Seven of Pentacles in the reverse. King of Wands. Okay, what is that I'm thinking of? I think they're Lana Del Rey lyrics, which makes sense because I love Lana, but she can be a little bit of a simp. She can do a little bit of the settling in her lyrics. So don't take your love advice from Lana Del Rey, okay? This is saying basically, I like the chase, I like those initial moments, I like the excitement, maybe even a little bit of I like the risk. But I don't want to like invest in anything long term. That's so much work. Yes, exactly, Shayla. Hello, Funny, what's up? No, never. But that's a good thing, right? Wait, should I try to say your name and imitate the emoji? Funny. I don't know if that counts. I feel like I failed, but that's all right. So we have the Tower in the reverse. Really? The Four of Rings or Four of Pentacles and the Three of Wands. I keep having that song in my head if you heard me bouncing the tarot deck on the table. Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. I really feel like this is somebody who's like, okay, if this doesn't work, if, you know, you decide you have to like go back to your partner or you can't get a divorce, then I'll just find somebody new. I'll never get attached. It'll be great. But I feel like there is this connection that changes their mind. And it could be the one that they're involved in right now. It could be one coming up. But this is somebody who feels like they're able to just kind of like, It's like they're a hummingbird, you know? They're just looking for that sweet stuff, flower to flower. This is somebody who's going to end up catching feelings or finding out that it's not so easy to walk away from somebody. That maybe their little plan here of protecting their heart by not getting too close to someone and choosing people that are in a relationship is not actually the move. Justice, Ten of Swords, the Star, and the Eight of Wands. This is somebody who's going to play their little games and not want to commit and, you know, look at it as just a physical connection, but it's going to be someone that they actually could have a lifetime with. So it's like they're burning a soulmate, you know? Like you have this opportunity in love and you're like, nah, how about just a one-night stand and then I ghost them? What do you think? It's my specialty. So this is someone who looks at it as a short-term connection, thinks that it's, you know, lots of fun, just like all the others. But after things end, now we have somebody looking back on that connection and thinking, that could have actually like been love, and I did it the entirely wrong way. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind. This could literally be somebody who's already in a relationship and not doing right by that relationship. I don't think that would be the majority. I think for the majority of you, this individual, the King of Wands, does not have to be a man, is someone who specifically selects partners based on their propensity to be okay with the short term and not the long term. Propensity to perhaps already be engaged or married or have this inability to really date them, right? Hello, Blocks. How you doing? We're going to keep all mentions of politics off my live chat. You're welcome to talk about anything other than that, as long as it's respectful. Hello. Do I call you Tra? Thank you. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? Hello, Matt. Hello, King Smokes. What's up? No, I'm sorry that you don't understand them. These are actually the Marigold Tarot. Actually, probably one of my more expensive tarot decks, so your timing is horrible. I hope it's better when you're trying to date people. Oh, okay, I got you. Should I call you Stuart? I had a cat that I named Stewie, which is semi-close, right? Look, this is somebody who's realizing that they were not as crafty as they thought they were. They kept looking on purpose for people that like, oh, I would get sick of you after 3 weeks anyway, so we'll just have our little fun and then I'll move on and I'll forget you. But Temperance in the reverse, now this person is feeling that like lovesick energy. The like, now this is bad because I can't stop thinking about this one particular person and I also cannot have them. I also cannot like make them choose me. Can I? Maybe they're gonna try to go back around to this person. Hello, Amy. How are you doing? Hey, Jones, you want to tell me what's going on? Are you okay? Who are you upset with? Exactly. Here, I'm just going to put you a little baby timeout. Maybe you just need to have some caffeine. Or maybe there's like a cookie nearby and it'll lift your spirits. But if you're going to be hateful, we're just going to block you. Hello, is it Abel? I'm going to go with Abel. That's not what my gift is for. It's for like actually working on yourself. And enrichment with money may be a lot of fun, but it's not what my purpose is. Hello, Fuffalo. How are you doing? Good morning, Ghost. How are you doing? Hey, Daring Daniel, I'm gonna put you in a little baby timeout. You wanna go grab some caffeine or smoke a cigarette or something, and then maybe you'll be in a better mood? I hope so. That's a good way to get copyrighted, Stuart. Rachel, I hope things get better for you. What else do we have? This is the situations deck. So yeah, this is someone realizing that it was not just like fun and games with this last person. Our King of Wands has been trying to, you know, kind of like return to the circuit or meet some new people or distract themselves, but they keep coming back to this person that they miss, this person that they don't get to have access to anymore. Hey, Ems, how you doing? We got some interesting folks in the live chat this morning. Hey, Stuart, are you telling us a play-by-play on what you're doing? I don't know if we need that. Thank you, Ghost. On a Monday at 7 a.m. You know, like if it was Saturday at 7 p.m. or midnight, maybe I'd understand. Maybe. It's also why I'm not here then. We've got Ascension. Good morning, Rachel. Hello, Paul. I do personal questions after the general reading, which is usually about 30 or 35 minutes in. We just hit 12 minutes with priority to those who tip or donate, or if you're especially delightful in the live chat. So we have Ascension today and divorce. Oh. Okay, so this is somebody who's actually getting a divorce, who is involved with this King of Wands, but they don't want the third party either. This is like, no, I realize I ruined the relationship I was in. I am trying to heal. I can't see you anymore. And this King of Wands is like, what do you mean? You're like getting a divorce. Like, shouldn't you be available all the time for me now? No, I don't feel like being with you. I don't want to do that anymore. I feel like this is someone who's learned a lesson because their relationship ended due to the shenanigans with the King of Wands. And the King of Wands was like, cool, I won. I'm going to just like take my little victory lap here. What outfit should I wear for that? And they're like, this is great. You know, like I've made them had like basically to choose me. And instead, this person's like, no, 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 I'm going to be single. I don't want to be with you. I can't trust you. So the King of Wands is frustrated because whatever they thought they had with this individual, it could be the Justice card, right? They might have Libra in their chart. They were like, oh, well, I thought now you were going to like have more time for me, or maybe we could get to know each other better, because now this person's got just a smidge of feelings, and then they get rejected. What do we want for a tarot deck? April says she likes Star Trek, so we're gonna use the Star Trek deck in case she shows up. Good morning, Golden. Hello, James. How's London doing? Hopefully I get to see it someday. Ah, there she is. Hello, April. Hey, Gold. I think you're in the wrong place there, hon. And probably pursuing the wrong things. Oh my gosh, you guys want to know a silly story? This was like, I don't know, maybe I was 22. I was hanging out with some friends, like, you know, having some drinks, playing some games, and someone's like, let's play, what is it, catchphrase? And I get all excited when it's my turn, and I go, oh my gosh. And people are like, what? I get all excited because I know who Gene Roddenberry is. And nobody knows. Nobody. I'm like, oh. So I'm the only Star Trek fan here, okay? And I've just called myself out as a fan. Yeah, they all made fun of me a little bit. Hello, Nathaniel. How are you doing? Oh, it's Capo. What's up? What's happening? We are 15 minutes in. Not too bad. So we have the Knight of Batlets, or the Knight of Swords in the reverse. The Two of Cloaks, or the Two of Wands in the reverse, and the Knight of Cloaks, or the Knight of Wands. Yeah. This isn't how I expected things to go. I thought that if I decided that I actually wanted to be with somebody that I was, you know, pursuing an affair with, that divorce would mean that that person's mine. I thought that things would go differently, and now they feel kind of foolish, right? Now they're like, okay, so even though I was trying to avoid getting my heart broken, it looks like I still ended up with that same situation. Keep talking Star Wars to you? I won't be able to do too much of that. Yeah, as much as I love Star Trek, I can't say that I've had the same passion for Star Wars. I don't think Star Trek is perfect as far as things being believable, but in Star Wars, it's just really difficult to, well, number one, not think about Spaceballs. You know, always wanted to comb the desert. But also, like, how can they miss their target so much? Like, I feel like with zero practice with whatever guns they're using, I could do better and hit my target more. Hello, Alien. How are you doing? Hello, Paul. I do not watch WWE. I like to wrestle with thoughts, concepts, not so much sweaty people. I don't know, like, if I'm gonna watch TV, it's probably gonna be like old school stuff, like I Love Lucy. Oh, or Alone. I do like that show. Okay, so we've got the World in the reverse, the Queen of Cloaks. Ooh, I totally missed her. The Knight of Starships, which would be the Knight of Cups in the reverse, and the Queen of Batlets. Why we got so many people over here? Oh, right, because somebody's been, you know, stepping out. Okay, so I feel like there's actually a really bad conversation that happens with the person involved in the divorce that was not seeing the King of Wands. So this is like the romantic rival, right? You ruined my relationship. You decided you wanted to date the person I was married to. And, you know, then our marriage ended because I found out about it. And I just figured I'd like to have a little chat with you. I just figured I'd like to know what is going on or why. I think it could even just be a letter or someone sending, you know, a nastygram. Just like, I hope you're happy with yourself. I just feel like it's gotten too messy, so the affair partner is like not interested anymore. Page of Starships, which is the Page of Cups. Five of Cloaks, or the Five of Wands, and the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah. This feels to me like I'm going to give you a piece of my mind, and I'll give you an opportunity to apologize. Do you want to, like, try to make things better? Like, do you have any remorse? Or are you just out here like, next affair partner, please. Yes, number 67. Come on through. Yes, yes. Like, this person is not going to be very polite. And I don't know that I really blame them. So I'm going to call them the Queen of Batlets or the Queen of Swords. This is the person who is going through the divorce. Often the King and Queen of Swords can represent exes, right? So this Queen of Swords is not very pleased with the King of Wands, which they've also come through as the Queen of Wands. So possible fire energy in this person who's been, you know, bopping around. And I feel like now we've got maybe even like a cheating clause in the divorce, because this Queen of Swords, yeah, they might be angry. They might be upset that things changed, but I also feel like they make out pretty nicely in the divorce, especially if there was an infidelity clause in that divorce. Hey, Hems. I don't really like to tell that much information, but I will tell you that I have a lot of Pisces. Hello, Brandon. How are you doing? Hello, IC. What's up? We have Death in the reverse. Again, we had that at the beginning as well. And the Queen of Cups. I feel like it's financial reasons, possibly, or just straight up frustration, maybe even concern over one's reputation, that makes what I would call the King of Swords, the person who is the, they had the affair with the King of Wands, but also is the divorce partner of the Queen of Swords, the person who cheated. I feel like they are struggling to adjust to this new life. They have to take care of things on their own. They might have some financial struggles. I do feel like they are not making out well in the divorce, because I think they're able to prove that this person was unfaithful. So the Queen of Swords, although potentially upset, right? This isn't how I wanted things to go, is not in as difficult a place because they didn't make the mistake, right? And may even feel like, all right, I guess this is how it was meant to be, and at least you're brokenhearted too. You thought you were going to be able to keep this a secret, or you thought you could take this person away from me, but now nobody gets them. Nobody gets to be in that relationship. So there's some satisfaction that this Queen of Swords gets in terms of how things end up after the divorce, and also seeing that this King of Wands is no longer dating their ex. Yeah, you know, we've got to be able to have that possibility or believe in those things happening, but we also have to be discerning, right? Hey, SRD, do you always misunderstand channels? This is tarot, and I feel like you could pick that up from some of the conversation in the live chat. This is a general reading. I also do personal questions at the end. This is the Spanish tarot. Six of Cups in the reverse. Nine of Wands. We have some defensive, angry energy here. I do feel like there could be some consequences if there are children in this relationship that has ended. I do feel like there could be some frustration on the King of Swords part, or, you know, justice. The person who cheated may not have access to be able to spend as much time with their family because of this decision, or they may have friends that no longer want to be associated with them. They're seeing some consequences that they didn't anticipate, just like the King of Wands. So the Queen of Swords may be, you know, upset that things ended, but their star is rising. They're recovering. Hey, Amy. I don't really need your warnings, but I hope you have a wonderful day anyways. Hello, Queen of South. How are you doing? Hello, Troy. Happy MLK Day. No, that's not how this works, sweetheart. We've got the Devil and the Ace of Cups in the reverse. So being rejected and not getting to have some additional time, or maybe even see if this King of Swords would fall in love with the King of Wands. Now we have this King of Wands, the person who likes to pursue people who are in relationships, feeling heartbroken, feeling like they've, you know, kind of ruined things for themselves. feeling like they don't even really want to go out and meet new people. We have the Chariot in the reverse. I just want to like find a way to make things work with this person who just went through a divorce, but they don't want to talk to me. They won't see me. They're mad at me because now their life has changed as a result of their association with me. They may feel blamed, which I don't know. Is that unfair? Eight of Wands and the Three of Swords. Heartbreak. So both of the folks that were involved in this cheating situation, not the one being cheated on, the King of Wands and the King of Swords, these two people, they're getting a heavy dose of karma, right? A heavy dose of, how does that taste? Is that what you wanted? Because that's what you were working towards. That's what you signed up for. James, come on. You want to, like, be respectful? I love it. Rachel, we went for the same time amount at the same time. Yo, James, come on, man. There's, like, so many other places you could go do that stuff. We have the Eight of Cups and the Emperor in the reverse. Loss of control. I don't have the ability to move through life the way that I did before. And that's true of both of these people. The Queen of Swords, on the other hand, is like, at least I have like more to build that next chapter with. And I know more about what I want. But the King of Swords and the King of Wands, the two people that were involved that should not have been, are both dealing with some pretty difficult, like, dark night of the soul, ego death moments where they really have to look in the mirror and ask themselves, like, was this worth it? I lost this, that changed, now I have to get a new job, I have to find a new place to live, my kids are mad at me, my brother's pissed at me. Like, was it worth it? And I think the answer is no. I guess not. Knight of Wands in the reverse. I did it all for the nookie. The what? Seven of Swords in the reverse and Judgment. Both of these individuals are having to be honest with themselves, or at least have the opportunity to look themselves in the mirror and say, you know what? I guess, like, this is kind of like my just desserts. I acted this way. I didn't take seriously the relationship I was in, or, you know, I wasn't looking for love and I was ruining a bunch of relationships. So now I'm brokenhearted. Now I guess I should have known this was like the logical conclusion or the, you know, predictable consequences of my actions, right? Hello, Tyler. How are you doing? Hello, Francisco. Hey, AK, do you have a reason for doing that? Or you just like to be weird? We've got Justice in the reverse and the Hanged Man in the reverse. These are two very stubborn people who felt justified in their actions. Oh, well, you didn't do that, so that's why I decided to step out. Or, oh, you know, like, nobody's going to take me seriously and, you know, I don't really care about your relationship. They're having to think about how they approached other people's feelings, relationships in general, and also their own, like, valuation. I mean, how do I say this kindly? If you love and respect yourself, which I strongly encourage, you don't really have the capacity to put yourself in that situation because you know you're being disrespectful to that person in a relationship. I personally would not expect to be treated very well if I did this, right? Gotta put out good energy if you want that back, right? All right, SRD, I think that's the end of our little acquaintance here. You know, if you want to come back and talk about things that are not Pokemon, cool. Hello, Ray. Oh, how could you tell? Hello, Denton. Uh-huh. Okay, Raymond. We've got the Three of Wands and the Fool. So this is meant to get both the King of Swords and the King of Wands who have not been the best where it concerns faithfulness or fidelity to turn a new page. Are you ready to stop messing around with that? Are you ready to do right by people? Are you ready to see that when you give the right kind of loving energy out to people and you are trustworthy, that you might be able to have a happy relationship? But if you don't do that, you put at risk the relationship that you say you want. And slightly different for the King of Wands, more so like you are not invincible. You are eventually going to fall in love if you play these games, and then you will have to reconsider your approach. What do we want? We're going to go with the Gypsy Oracle. Hey, Key Controller, how are you doing? Did I say hello to Enfants? All right, what else do we have? We have the Servant card and Fortune. So our Queen of Swords, the positive energy here is this is someone who is going to be a little bit more financially secure and not have to do all of the work in a relationship. So this could be someone who is really doing whatever they could to try to salvage their marriage without realizing that the other person had already decided basically that it wasn't really that important to them. But things are looking up for this Queen of Swords because they're able to realize that there's new opportunities and new chapters that they can pursue. And I do feel like there's someone else who's interested in them romantically. Someone who's going to do something kind, like, oh, do you need help moving? Or, hey, do you need somebody to like paint your kitchen? I feel like this is someone who's always had a little bit of a crush on the Queen of Swords, sees that this person is single and takes their opportunity. Hello, Lee. I hope you're doing well. Thank you for the tip. That he needs to work that would make me a coward. Give options for weekends. He works. Coward? I'm sorry if you all hear my stomach growl. I'm already getting pretty hungry. It happens. I've got that added for you, Lee, and thank you for the tip. I think we're already in personal question time, but I will pull just a few more from the Gypsy Oracle. Hello, ZX. How are you doing? Wish I had some bacon. We've got Enemy and Malady. Don't play games with people's hearts. It's just not worth it, okay? We have some pretty serious karma hitting both of these individuals who thought that they could just like have their cake and eat it too. Well, they ate. But right now, I feel like it's the Queen of Swords who's getting what they want. You can take that how you want, but this is someone who's realizing life is actually better after the divorce. And the other folks involved in this love triangle seem to be frustrated because people are not interested in them. Maybe they've got a bad reputation. Maybe they kind of, how do I say this? They might stop kind of like taking care of their physical appearance due to perhaps some depression. So I feel like there is like a visual confirmation that this divorce has ended up being good for the Queen of Swords, but rather unfortunate for the other two involved. Hello, Cara. How are you doing? All right, let's see what we've got for Lee. If Lee gave options to her ex for the weekends that he works, would that make Lee a coward? And thank you for liking and subscribing, by the way. Thank you, Planet. So we've got Judgment in the reverse, the Star, and the Ace of Pentacles. Would it make you a coward? No. Is it necessary? No. What if it's like, 75% weekends that he has to work? Or 50? I do feel like he's going to try to pretend like everything is fine and he can make whatever work. And then maybe in the next breath, throws a little bit of a pity party for himself and says that's not fair. I feel like you're going to get mixed reactions because it's like, I want to be mad, but I also don't want to admit that this is like a problem for me. But, I mean, it kind of feels like maybe you don't need to do it all of them, but I kind of feel like there's going to be something here that exposes that there's still something that he hasn't been honest about as far as his ability to actually care for your daughter and, how he approaches that responsibility. Yeah, they've been really, and also like the little cat painting. I don't know, I really like the new lights. All right, I'm gonna do a freebie. Thanks, Matt. That's always appreciated. Hey, John. I got no stickers on my car, but I would also encourage you to consider how much in life you might miss if you start every interaction by judging someone you don't really know. Think about all those times that you won't get laid. Yeah. Aren't we all a little bit sad about that? Hey, John. I hope you have a good day, even though you don't have a good attitude, okay? Yeah, I mean, in that situation, I would choose the husband over the ex, right? As far as like who to do right by. Hello, Peter. You know what? Just because you are so kind about it and because I like Australia, I'm going to see what's coming up for you right now. What is coming up for Peter in Australia? Just don't make fun of me, Peter, because I'm pretty sure my stomach is about to growl again, okay? And then if you want a long form reading, you can email me. We've got the Knight of Swords in the reverse, Death, and the Ace of Cups. The Tower, Queen of Swords in the reverse. I see you getting over someone. I don't know, maybe you feel like you've already been able to let go of this Queen of Swords in the reverse. This would be somebody who really liked to use their words to make you feel small. I suppose it doesn't have to be romantic, but I feel like you're accepting that this is like not gonna work. This person, on the other hand, is a little bit moody, feeling like they've failed, feeling like no apology is going to work. Why the Ten of Pentacles? Was this a long-term relationship? Nope. This is someone who feels like if they had been honest with you and defended what was right or taken action towards doing right by you, that they would be in a much better place right now. So what's upcoming is something that you have felt kind of raw about. I feel you're forgiving or accepting of the situation. and you're able to take that energy that you used to use to like think about this or, you know, wish that things were different. I feel like you're going to be able to put that energy into something different. Why the Seven of Wands in the reverse? Okay, so you do have a path in front of you, Peter. One path is staying stuck and letting this kind of fester and get in the way of you and the other 2 cups that are still upright. These 3 cups that are spilt, this is like spilt milk, right? The things in the past that didn't go well. And this dude focused on things that are spilt instead of the 2 cups over here that are still upright. 2 cups, by the way, referencing love. So don't get stuck in the past. I feel like you do let this go. And when you let that go, you're able to find somebody who is willing to be trustworthy or a true confidant. So don't miss out on something amazing ahead of you because you are still thinking about something from the past. It's true. All right. Yeah, I totally understand that, Lee. And good luck, April. Hold on, I saw a question. Oh, in what ways do they need to apologize or do they want me to apologize? King of Wands in the reverse. Knight of Swords. The Sun in the reverse. The focus seems to be on, you know, can you demonstrate that you've learned the approach that was taken only made things worse, or can you apologize for the specific words that were chosen? But I feel like things are going to get fixed between the 2 of you. I feel like you're going to be able to make amends, or they are, or like, you know, you hug it out. But with Sun in the reverse, it's really important that you feel, or that you both feel, that there's been a change in perception on how to approach this. I'm glad to hear that, Peter. Good luck to you on that. But even if it takes a little bit of time, I do feel like there's a sincere desire on both sides. So it'll work out. Did I say hello to Erin? Hello, Erin. Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. I think I'm going to go eat some breakfast, y'all, but I hope you have a wonderful day. And I still have to post the link for my candles. I've got 2 other scents that I need to upload to Etsy, and then I'll let you all know that. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. Doodles.